I can't make it yet. Or they missed part of it. So today in your Google Classroom, you will see I have posted under math in today's assignment. I have, for today is Tuesday. It should be on here, problem solving with Mural. So if you are a remote learner, you're gonna wanna open that because you're gonna see two pictures. If you're here in person, you can look at our mural. Paxton, can I have your whole body? Thank you. So we've been making murals here at school, and I'm gonna click on one. You'll see this is the Camp Aubin mural. And when you do, you can zoom in on this when you open it up in your Google Classroom. And you're going to need that problem solving sheet that I sent home with you. It looks like this. I'm waiting on you two. Max, I'm waiting on you. You have to turn around. You have to watch. So your sheet looks like this. I sent it home with you for remote learners. You guys will get one. They all say Camp Harrison mural, but I didn't have time to change it to Aubin. You can do Camp Harrison or Camp Aubin remote learners. This one is my mural for our class. And you're going to use this picture to answer the questions. Now I can show you Mrs. Harrison's mural also. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you figured out the.
Yeah, do you want to count them?
Sure.
Here's my.
Do you think this is my pile?
No, I think that's the pile.
Okay.
And here's Camp Harrison's mural. And again, I can zoom in really close. If I'm not sure what something is, you can zoom, zoom, zoom. Like now I see there's a snake. Looks like a tent here. We've got a tree. Yeah, that might be. There's a campfire and so forth. So you're going to pick one of these murals between Aubin and Harrison. I'm going to do an example with Aubin, but then also, here, let me go back. You're going to need your Camp Mural word problem sheet, and you're going to be answering questions to go with this mural. So, for example, it says use the Camp Harrison or Aubin, it should say, mural to answer the following questions. Show your work or calculations. The first question says, how many more tents are there than campfires? What would I do to solve that, Lucas? What do I have to do to find out how many more tents there are than campfires? Do we have enough?
18. No, just my classwork.
Okay, will you make a set for me?
So you take away tents from, you take away the number of tents from the number, no, you take away the number of campfires from the number of tents, and you see the answer.
So is that addition, subtraction, multiplication? So he's telling us we are going to subtract. So you would go back and look at how many more tents there are than campfires. So what do I have to do first, Leo, before I can even solve that? What do I have to know before I can tell you how many more there are?
How many tents and campfires there are?
Yeah, first you got to count the number of tents. Then you got to count the number of campfires. Then you could subtract, right? Okay, the next question says, how many campers are there? What are campers? Do I mean the campers with wheels? What kind of campers am I talking about, Josh? The people. The campers are the people. That's a word you could use in more than one way. Today, we're going to talk about it as people. The campers are people. Do we have to do much comparing with that question? What do we have to do, Sawyer, when to find the answer to how many campers are there? What do I have to do? I want to find out how many campers there are, how many people. What am I going to do? I'm just going to count, right? All I got to do is count. The next question asks how many tents are there? What am I going to do with that? Haley Calendar. How do I find the answer to that, Miss Calendar? Hello, Haley, where are you? Help her out. Who can help her out? Elena, what do I do for number 3? You just got to count how many tenths there are. All right, number 4. There she is. Okay, sorry, she's back. Maybe you can help us with the next one. Are there enough tents for each camper to have his or her own? Why or why not? Haley, how would I figure that out? I want to know if there's enough tents for each camper. Remember, a camper is a person. How would I figure that out? What do I have to
Well,
do?
you count all the you count all the campers, and then you count all the tents. And if there's more tents than campers, there will be enough. But if there's more campers than tents, there won't be enough.
Someone's going to end up sharing, right?
But if there's the same number of the if they're both the same number, there is enough.
Excellent explanation. Well done. All right, let's look at the next question. It says, are there enough campers to have 2 in each tent? What would I have to do to figure that one out? Sunny?
You would count all the campers and all the tents, and then you would take 2 of the tents. So then when you count all those, with one of the tents would be 2, so you divide.
So she said you would need to know how many campers and how many tents and see if you took the number of tents and multiplied it by what? 2, you would have that number of campers, right? And see, or you could do it the opposite where you're using division. All right, why or why not? Be sure to explain why or why not in your answer. Number 6, which direction, north, south, west, or east, Charlie and Robert, eyes up here, would you travel to get from the longest river to the trails? So if I'm looking, I need to know if I'm going north. So here are my trails. Do you see these trails here? There's one up here. Here's a hiking trail here. My longest river is like through here. You see the river? You would have to decide which trail you want to talk about because I have more than one trail. And then you have to say which direction. Remember, north goes up, south goes down, west goes to the left, east goes to the right. Never eat shredded wheat. Never eat slimy worms. All right. The next question is, are there enough, or no, not enough. Are there more flowers or trees at camp? Cooper, how am I going to figure that out? Are there enough?
You're going to count the number of flowers and count the number of trees.
Count the number of flowers, count the number of trees, and compare, right? Which one's bigger? And then how do you know? How many lakes and rivers are there all together? Again, you're going to have to look and do what, Gabe? You're going to count. You're going to have to count how many lakes and rivers. You're just going to count them. And then last but not least, the last thing we have is on the back. On the back of your paper, you're going to write your own word problems to go with the mural. See if a buddy can solve your problem and try to solve his or hers. So if you're remote, that would be tough, but you could try it and share it with us if you like. If you finish this, so we're going to do this for a little bit. Obviously, it's going to take a little time. We have another thing I sent home. It says camp map. You should have had this in your packet. If you can't find it, then just work on your problem solving. So this is a grid. And it goes with math because you have to kind of look at where things meet. You're going to use the map to answer the questions below. It says, which direction would you travel to go from the tent area to the camp lodge? So where do you think the tent area is? It's right up here, right? Use the key and the symbols to figure out which is which. So it shows you what the tent area is, shows you a picture of a lake. You have boots for the hiking trail. You have trees for the forest, a log cabin for the camp lodge, and a fire pit for the fire pit area. So it's similar to what we just did, but you're going to do it with a map this time. Use your compass rose, never eat slimy worms, never eat shredded wheat, to help you with your direction. So which direction would you travel to go from the tent area to the camp lodge? Let's try. Tent area, I know that from reading the key. And camp lodge looks like a log cabin. It's here. Which direction is that? What do you think, Cooper? Yeah, you come from here to here. Look at your compass rose. You're going to go south. So you would write south. Then it asks you, which direction would you travel from the forest to the fire pit? So here's your forest all in here, and then you're going to go to the fire pit, and so on. So you don't need to answer because you're going to do this, right? Then number 4 has a little bit of a change in directions. It says, at what grid points are the following places? So we haven't talked about grid points, so I'm going to show you. The fire pit area. You want to start with the letter first on the left, and then you're going to go with the numbers. It's very similar. So Henrik and Sawyer, you're going to end up with a desk if I see you do it again. So pay attention. You're going to start with the letter, then the number. It's very much like your multiplication table. So if I want to find the fire pit area, first you want to put your finger on the fire pit area. What would the grid points be? I want to find the letter first. What letter is it close to? Or which row is it in? C, right? Which column is it in? So you would write C1. What about the camp lodge? Say it out loud when you know it. And so forth. Now, when you get to the tent area or to the lake, it has 2 lines. Why do you think this has 2 lines? Madison? Why would the lake have 2 lines for its grid points? It's big and it takes up 2 spaces, right? So you're going to have D3 and D4. Okay, so that's how you do that. If you finish that, you may design your own camp. Create a map of a camp you would love to visit. Be creative and think about the types of things that would be at your dream camp. Your map must have the following: a title, a map key, and it gives it there for you, at least 5 things on the map that are on the key, and a compass rose. You can just flip this over to get ideas and then do it on your own. Any questions about what we're going to spend the next 45 minutes doing? I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to put our mural up on here, and then you'll have it there as well. Yes, Jensen.
Is it okay if I use paper to design my camp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good question. Anybody else? Okay, I'm going to let you guys get started. So if you're in my room, and you are welcome to stay on if you think you have some questions. If you do not, you may work on your own, and then we will see you at 9:45 tomorrow for our guest speaker. It's Evergreen Audubon Society. Okay.